Starting this Friday, the Social Security Administration will begin withholding 100% of benefits for certain recipients, leaving many people without a single dollar in their bank accounts. If you rely on Social Security, this is a critical update you can't afford to ignore. In this video, we'll break down exactly who will be affected, why this is happening, and what you can do right now to protect yourself. Many beneficiaries don't even realize they've been overpaid until it's too late, and by then, their entire check could be gone. Welcome to Financial Area, your go-to source for financial news and Social Security updates. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update that could impact your finances. The Social Security Administration has officially announced that, starting this Friday, they will begin withholding 100% of benefits for individuals who have outstanding overpayment balances. This means that if the SSA determines you have been overpaid, you may wake up to find that your entire Social Security check, whether it's retirement, SSDI, survivor benefits, or SSI, has been withheld. This marks a significant shift from previous policy, where the SSA would typically withhold only 10% or a minimum of $10 per month, allowing beneficiaries to continue receiving at least a portion of their payments. Now, with the reinstatement of full withholding, many recipients will face the reality of receiving nothing at all until their overpayment is fully recovered. This sudden policy shift has created widespread concern among beneficiaries, especially those who rely on Social Security as their primary or only source of income. The biggest issue? Many people don't even realize they have been overpaid. Overpayments can happen for a variety of reasons, including SSA miscalculations, changes in income that aren't updated in their system, or even administrative errors that beneficiaries had no control over. Despite these factors, the burden of repayment falls entirely on the recipient, regardless of whether they were aware of the mistake. With millions of Americans affected, the financial impact of this change could be devastating. Retirees, disabled individuals, and low-income recipients who depend on every dollar of their Social Security check to cover essentials like rent, food, and medical expenses may suddenly find themselves without a safety net. The SSA has stated that this measure is necessary to recover funds that were mistakenly distributed, but critics argue that punishing beneficiaries, many of whom had no idea they were being overpaid, is an extreme and unfair approach. What makes this even more concerning is that there is no automatic warning before withholding begins. The SSA sends out notices informing beneficiaries of their overpayment status, but many people either never receive these letters, misunderstand them, or simply don't know how to respond. For those who miss the notice or fail to take action in time, the consequences could be severe. Once full withholding begins, it will continue every month until the entire overpayment amount is repaid, leaving many Americans scrambling to find alternative ways to cover their basic expenses. The issue of Social Security overpayments is far more widespread than many people realize. Between 2015 and 2022, the SSA overpaid beneficiaries a staggering $71.80 billion, an average of nearly $1 billion per year. These overpayments are not just isolated incidents, but a systemic issue within the administration, affecting millions of retirees, disabled individuals, and low-income recipients. The problem often arises due to errors in income reporting, administrative miscalculations, or delays in processing changes in eligibility. In many cases, beneficiaries are unaware that they have been receiving extra funds, sometimes for months or even years, until they are suddenly hit with an overpayment notice demanding repayment. One of the biggest concerns is that overpayment notices are often confusing, delayed, or never received by the beneficiary. The SSA sends out over 2 million overpayment notices every year, primarily targeting SSDI and SSI recipients. These letters explain the alleged overpayment amount and outline repayment instructions, but they do not always make it clear why the overpayment occurred or how recipients can challenge it. Many beneficiaries assume the SSA's calculations are correct and feel pressured to comply, without questioning whether they truly owe the amount stated. Others may not receive the notice at all due to outdated mailing addresses, clerical errors, or simple miscommunication. For those who do receive the notice, the repayment demands can be overwhelming. Some beneficiaries find themselves owing thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, with little explanation of how the SSA arrived at that amount. This leaves many struggling with an impossible choice: either repay the debt, even if it means financial hardship, or risk losing their entire monthly benefit under the new 100% withholding policy. Unlike traditional debt collections, the SSA does not need to negotiate a repayment plan or consider the financial situation of the beneficiary before taking action. Once withholding begins, it continues indefinitely until the debt is cleared, which could take months or even years depending on the amount owed. What makes the situation even more frustrating is that many overpayments are the result of SSA errors, not beneficiary fraud or wrongdoing. Despite this, the responsibility to fix the issue falls entirely on the recipient. Even if a beneficiary was never notified of an overpayment or had no reasonable way of knowing they were receiving extra funds, they are still expected to pay the money back. In some cases, the SSA has even tried to collect overpayments from family members of deceased beneficiaries, adding another layer of financial stress to grieving families. The lack of accountability on the part of the SSA, combined with the aggressive collection tactics being implemented, has left many beneficiaries feeling powerless and uncertain about their financial future. For beneficiaries facing overpayment notices, acting quickly and strategically is crucial to avoiding financial hardship. The first step is to check your Social Security account online at ssa.gov to verify if you have an overpayment balance. Many beneficiaries never receive a physical notice in the mail, so regularly checking your payment history can help you catch any discrepancies early. If you find an overpayment listed, do not assume the SSA's calculations are correct. Errors are common, and you have the right to challenge them. If you receive an overpayment notice, it's important to stay calm and explore your options before making any payments. Many beneficiaries don't realize that they can appeal the overpayment decision if they believe it was made in error. This process involves requesting a reconsideration, during which the SSA will review your case and determine whether the overpayment claim is valid. In some instances, the SSA may find that the overpayment was due to their own mistake, leading to a reduction or complete dismissal of the debt. However, appeals must be filed quickly, typically within 60 days of receiving the notice, so delaying action can limit your options. Another alternative is requesting a waiver of the overpayment. This option is particularly important for beneficiaries who cannot afford to repay the amount owed. The SSA grants waivers in cases where the beneficiary was not at fault for the overpayment, and repaying it would cause significant financial hardship. To apply for a waiver, beneficiaries must provide proof of their financial situation, such as monthly expenses, income, and outstanding debts. If the waiver is approved, the SSA will cancel the overpayment, and no repayment will be required. However, if the waiver is denied, the beneficiary may still have the option to negotiate a lower repayment amount or set up a reasonable repayment plan to avoid full benefit withholding. Aside from dealing with overpayments, beneficiaries should also be aware of available financial resources, especially when it comes to Medicare and healthcare costs. Many seniors and disabled individuals overpay for Medicare because they are unaware of lower-cost plans and assistance programs. Organizations that help people navigate Medicare options can often find plans that provide the same or better coverage for significantly less money, with average savings of around $1,100 per year. Exploring these options can help offset some of the financial burden caused by the SSA's overpayment recovery efforts, ensuring beneficiaries don't have to choose between paying their bills and affording health care. With these changes in Social Security policies, it's more important than ever for beneficiaries to stay informed, take action, and seek assistance when needed. Whether it's appealing an overpayment, applying for a waiver, or looking for ways to reduce other financial burdens. Knowing your rights and options can make a significant difference in protecting your financial stability during this uncertain time.